I chose to do iPiccy for one of my new technologies because our school has a new website this year and we often post pictures of what students are doing in the classroom. And this is a way for teachers and students to edit photos in a free Photoshop-like editing website. It's easy to use, not complicated at all. The editing options there are several editing options like filters, effects, cropping, resizing, and it's easy to upload finished products to Facebook or Twitter, as well as other social networking sites. So students have the option of housing their finished products. This fits well with the ISTE E6D standard, where teachers model and nurture creative expression to communicate ideas, knowledge, or connections. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm not going to sign in because you don't actually have to have an account to edit photos. So I'm going to choose to edit a photo, but other options are to make a collage and to create a design. So there are multiple ways that you can use this site. For the purpose of this tutorial, I'm going to choose to just use one of the photo samples from iPiccy, and I'm going to choose to edit this girl. And all of the editing options are off to the side, and you just click on them. They have photo effects, there are retouching, the designer for adding text, stickers, and other images to the picture. There's the painter tool, frames, and textures. So I'm currently in the one that allows for resizing, and I'm going to crop this picture by just changing the size and dragging the box to the size that I want. And when you're comfortable with the size that you have, you just click apply. If you want to flip or rotate, then you can choose to do it that way with this tool. Just for the sake of this, I'll leave her facing that direction now. And then there are other options there as well. I like sepia. I think that's a pretty color, so I'm going to choose to take the color out and make it a sepia. And you can also add a vignette if you want to, and you can make it colored or leave it darker, and if you want to brighten the color of the vignette, you can. And then you just hit, or for strength, if you want a little more blue, and then apply when you're happy with what you've got. And then I'm going to retouch her face a little bit by adding a little bit of color to her cheeks. So the brush size can get bigger or smaller depending on what you need for the size of the brush, and you just pick the color and you add a little bit of color to her cheeks. And now she's got a little pink on her cheeks, so I'm going to apply that. And then I'm going to move on to the designer. If I wanted to add stickers or text or other images, I could do that here, but I want to keep this one looking pretty clean, so I'm going to leave it be, but students really like to add text and stickers. Then there's the painting option as well, which I'm not going to use, but this is what those tools look like. I am going to add a frame just so you can see what they look like, and if you don't like them, you just hit cancel. Kids also like to add frames as well, and you can change the color if you want to match whatever you need. If you don't like it, you just cancel it. And then there's the matte as well, and you can add strength or weakness to it. Finally, then there are the textures, which I really like the grunge one. The paper one, you can tell that one is only for when you're logged in, and so I can't use that right now, but I can use some of the other options, and you just click on the one that you like to get the effect that you want. Some of these make it a little harder to see. I like this one. I think it makes it look kind of antique, so I'm going to leave that one like that. And then there are other options as well if you want to see what some of these other textures look like. So here's nature. Obviously it's going to depend on what you're doing and what you're trying to achieve with your picture. So once you've finished and you're happy with your product, you can save it or open it. And so if you want to save, you can save it to your computer, you can save it to Facebook or a photo library, and then you can just upload the picture to whatever social media site that you're using, or upload it to like your school website. At that point in time, students would be using ISTE standard for Student 6D. Students publish or present content that customizes the message and medium for their intended audience, which would be their parents or their other stakeholders or students that they have in their class. And that is how to use iPiccy.